names, who at their very mention give fans goosebumps. Athletes who reside in the rarefied air beyond elite. Those who are no longer just competing against their fellow players. They are competing against history.
Swing and a miss! That's 12!
Shohei Ohtani is etching his name in that pantheon of immortals in the midst of an unprecedented month on the mound.
It is in there! A career-high 13 strikeouts for Shohei Ohtani!
The two-way all-star takes the hill one more time before the Midsummer Classic. Do you feel that? Shohei Ohtani is about to give us goosebumps again.
And now he is getting another opportunity to thrill us here tonight and snap a 5-game losing streak, something he has been accustomed to. He has been the stopper for this Angels team. He's 5-0 in his last 5, but going back to April 20th against this Astros team, perhaps was even better than the last 5.
Yeah, that was one of the best starts I've seen by any major league pitcher in a long, long time. My go-tos for Shohei to continue this stretch he is on right now. Breaking pitches for punch-outs, 87 strikeouts on his breaking pitches, and power his fastball on the outside corners, both the lefties and righties. When he's doing that, that sets up those excellent secondary pitches, especially those breakables and splitters.
And this Astros team, 21-6 in their last 27 games, which is a major league best. And they are in first place in the American League West by a long shot. Angels, a season high 12 games under 500. And we expect a solid crowd here tonight at the Big 8. Great to have you alongside Mark Gubaza, Erica Weston. I'm Patrick O'Neill, and we are underway. First pitch is in there for a strike to Altuve.
Knowing that Altuve swings the first pitch a lot and hits a fastball very well this season, starts him off with one of his nasty sliders.
Jose Altuve, an 8-time All-Star now, and is working with a 10-game hitting streak for Houston.
That's a good pitch right away, right on the outside corner, not called a strike though.
No, not C.B. Buckner behind the plate, and this is the Astros batting order for Dusty Baker, Altuve, McCormick, Tucker, then Bregman, Gurriel, Maticevic, Pena, Myers, and Maldonado. Astros at 57-29. Picked up their 30th road win last night. Up and in to Altuve. Look out.
That'll bring a smile on your face, and happy it didn't go any further inside on that one. Especially he paints the outside corner, which could have been and should have been 0-2. Up and in with a fastball at 98. And when you're not expecting, you're expecting a secondary pitch, you can see how late that reaction was for Altuve, up and in.
Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss on the fastball, 2-2.
676 slugging, OPS of 1082 versus fastballs, and Shohei challenged him with a fastball, got it by him at 97. For Altuve, who loves hitting fastballs.
Here's the 2-2. Bounces that in there. Went to the split. And we have a full count. Altuve with a leadoff walk last night versus Noah Syndergaard. Ended up scoring a run. And just like Noah, perhaps the first inning is that inning for Shohei to get a feel. Long wait for this 3-2 pitch. Halos overload the left side. And he draws a walk. You've got to remember that one pitch that wasn't called, and Altuve is aboard. Defense behind Ohtani. Marsh, Taylor Ward is in center. No Mike Trout in the lineup tonight. Joe Adell, welcome back. He has been recalled and is getting the start, hitting fifth. VR Velasquez at short, Rengifo and Walsh, and catching here tonight for Ohtani is Max Stassi.
Adell getting in that start, his first since June 10th out in right field. 4 career outfield assists. for Joe Adell. 40 games down in Salt Lake City, and he's got to deal with that sun early on here. So any fly ball that way becomes an even more difficult play to make.
Last 15 games, putting up some big numbers, hitting 300. Adell just flew in today, was in a great mood, Gooby. And Monte Harrison DFA'd. And Adell is back. Erica Weston will have more on Mike Trout, who spoke to the media today. Give us some results on some tests. If he'll even be available perhaps tonight to pinch hit, stay tuned for that. There's Chas McCormick. And there's Manny Gonzalez at first base. Said he did in fact go. We'll take a look.
Yeah, definitely. Almost a full swing on that one.
McCormick getting the start in left field tonight for the Astros.
Good fastball here tonight. Hyundai key for the game tonight. Going a little Nelly today. Ride with me. Shohei Ohtani has been the guy that stops these losing streaks. He's willing to take that on his back as far as on the pitching mound and also swinging the bat. So ride with me. Shohei Ohtani is trying to break this losing streak and get a winning streak going here tonight.
Well, as many Halo fans would say to Shohei, needs you here tonight. Got him.
Boy, yeah, there's some good hard fastballs. Went nasty slider. The depth of that pitch. McCormick thought he was on that too, the lower part of the strike zone, but that late break to it. Another punch out for Shohei. This becomes an interesting matchup here for Tucker. We know, and we said often how he swings at the first pitch, but he's really good on breaking balls. And Shohei loves to throw his first pitch slow curveball. I wonder if he goes away from that and goes a fastball here.
Last night, Tucker with that double ended up being the player of the game in a 6-5 Houston victory. And he did, in fact, go with that slow, get over curveball.
He's always ready to swing at the first pitch. It's amazing his numbers versus breaking pitches this year. 8 home runs. An OPS over 1,000, 1,003 versus breaking pitches.
Love how you knew exactly he was going to go with the curveball and Tucker was sitting on it. That's outstanding. Oh, 2 to the first-time All-Star. So longest inning pitch streaks, no earned runs. Halo pitchers last 50 seasons. Lackey went 30 2/3. Rudy May 30 73. Ohtani at 29, and then Nolan Ryan at 28, 1975. Last 50 seasons.
Yes, you're seeing Nolan Ryan at the top of every category when it comes to pitching in Halo history.
Came in at 28 2/3, and we update it just like that. Altuve, it's a late break. You heard Ohtani saying, hey, hey, but Altuve is in there. So a runner in scoring position for Kyle Tucker.
Try to get him to chase a splitter. Keeps it in front, tries to pick. And Tucker doesn't have to move at that point. If it's over the plate, he has to get out of the way, but he doesn't have to move, and that's why that throw was a lot more difficult for Max Stassi.
Scored a stolen base for Altuve. We were waiting on the official ruling.
I guess it was a delayed steal, otherwise that would be on the pitch in dirt. And Shohei, that would be the first stolen base he has allowed this season.
Two and two.
Look how Altuve was moving on that one as a delayed steal. So you can never assume that they're going to be thrown out, so he gets a stolen base out of that.
First of the season against Ohtani. 2-2 to Tucker. Off the plate, full count.
As they're going after 2 splitters in this sequence. Remember, dominated the Astros down in Houston. 1-1 this season with an ERA 0.84 for Shohei against the Astros. Oh, but this 1-3 in his career.
Those 5 innings on April 20th in Houston. Insane, perfect. And 10 strikeouts in the 5 innings. They ended up going 6. And the fact that in that game he had 20 swings and misses. But how many were in the strike zone?
Yeah, that's just a great view. Only 2 in the entire strike zone. That's our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. 11 on a slider, 6 splitter, 2 curves, and 1 4-seam fastball. But when you see that picture, where some of those pitches were and how far off the plate, that tells you how good his stuff was that night.
Big battle with Tucker, and he got him.
And right on cue, he gets a chase well out of the strike zone on a curveball. A pitch that Tucker hits very well. Starts in the strike zone, ends up below it. A chase out of the zone.
The creativity that you brought up at the start of the show.
I just love how you could see that break on that pitch, where it starts out of his hand and where it ends up.
So leadoff walk to Altuve, delayed steal, got into scoring position, back-to-back strikeouts, and now it's Alex Bregman with 2 down here, top of the first inning.
Bregman, some pretty good numbers in his career versus Ohtani, but when you go back to that game in Houston where he dominated 6 shutout innings, only 1 hit allowed, 12 strikeouts, I remember him walking back to the dugout, shaking his head going, wow, his stuff was excellent. And he doesn't do that too often for pitchers, opposing pitchers.
Fastball inside, 2-0. Bregman 4 for 11 versus Ohtani, 3-0. Yuli Gurriel on deck. First base open.
He'll be swinging 3-0 though.
New this year, as we brought up numerous times, pitch comm. Communication from the catcher to the pitcher with that speaker inside the cap. 3-0 pitch.
3-0 slider. Wow.
That was
amazing.
Yeah. Remember the 3-0, was it a 3-0 slider he threw to Castro when he had that perfect game? Was it 3-0? And that he just shook his head on. Ended up getting that hit to break it up.
21 pitches for Shohei, 11 so far out of the strike zone.
Swing and a miss.
And my theory behind that, Patrick, is now with 22, 11, 11, he's being perfect on his spots because he knows he's facing a very good team lineup-wise, but also he knows he's facing a very good pitcher on the other side, Christian Javier, who's been outstanding. So he knows he has to make great pitches after great pitches.
This Astros offense in the month of July has been league best. That's a ground ball. Velasquez is there, throws across. Ohtani gets out of it. Leadoff walk. Nothing comes of it, and he's leading off. Cam replay, April 20th of this year. Ohtani, not only did he pick up his first win and pitch one of the best games we've ever seen, but it all started in the first inning when he hit twice before he threw a pitch, and then he had 12 strikeouts in 6+ innings. It was insane what we saw.
And there was a couple batters in there. Michael Brantley does not strike out. He struck out in that game. Bregman, the same thing. His stuff was so good that day. I was actually thinking perfect game in that one for Shohei.
Yeah, had my heart racing, that's for sure. That was his first win of the season. He was 0-2 coming into that start. How efficient was he? Well, compared to Chris Sale back in 2018, 6 innings, 1 hit, 12 strikeouts. 12+ strikeouts, 1 hit, 0 earned runs in 6 innings or less.
That's amazing. That's 2 incredibly good arms too. When you think Chris Sale from that arm angle he throws at, and then Shohei with all the pitches he throws.
Well, he's back out there facing Yuli Gurriel, ahead 0-2.
I wonder if Shohei's going to be the same way he always is, so creative against a guy who doesn't hit fastballs well this season. If he sticks with fastballs against him, especially 0-2.
That one popped up, out of play. The 12th meeting between the Astros and the Angels. Houston's taken the first 8 and 3 so far in the 11 played.
So he's spiked a couple splitters so far, one at 90 and one at 92. He has thrown that splitter hard. Usually it takes a little bit of time for Shohei Ohtani to get a feel for his splitter. And he muscled up on this splitter, and it goes straight down. You can see a great view of that one. That was just barely got to the dirt.
Got him, 100. Triple digits, third strikeout, one down.
And going against a guy who's struggling with a fastball, went after him with a fastball in a breaking ball count for Shohei at 100 miles an hour. Right down the heart of the plate, showed him the Benjamins on that one, 100.
J.J. Matijevic. One out here, top of the second. Strike one.
How do you throw 100 miles an hour and then the very next
You're asking me?
8. That's amazing. As a hitter there, you see that pitch in the on-deck circle, and you could see why he had that reaction. That was a better splitter. And again, the lower part of the strike zone. C.B. Buckner's, for both sides so far, not given corners so far.
Maticevic's first ever look at Ohtani. Hit well, but there's the shift on. Velasquez got him. What a play.
That baseball was hit hard, but also on the backhand as an infielder, you're so used to Shohei's going, what a play. Andrew Velasquez, because that baseball is going to stay low on the outfield grass. Goes from the dirt and it skips. And he knows he's got to get rid of it quickly. What a play by Andrew Velasquez, who hasn't got as much playing time as earlier this season, but an outstanding defensive play again by Andrew Velasquez, and Shohei going, wow, that's a good play. And that goes down as a 6-3, even though it's in right field.
Yes. Squid game. Now traditional defensive alignment for the infield to face Jeremy Pena. Oh, gets the corner that time, strike one.
Don't see that too often where Jeremy Pena is not swinging at the first pitch. And that's the time that I think you can go a little bit further off the plate with one of your secondary pitches.
And he does. 0-2.
Remember, he struck him out a couple times down in Minute Maid Park on 3 pitches. Got him to chase his slider off the plate, 0-2.
He was checking in with Stassi. Got his attention for this pitch, the 0-2. Off the plate, 1-2.
Not quite competitive enough, close enough to the strike zone to get a swing there. But still sharp slider from Shohei.
Doesn't show him the heater. Got him. That's 4 strikeouts for Ohtani. And he's retired 6 in a row. Sugoi. No score to the bottom of the second. 17th career triple. And the Angels lead 3-0. Time for the Bounty quick stats. 3 straight starts, 10+ Ks, 0 earned runs, 6 pitchers in MLB history. Shohei Ohtani has joined a very exclusive list.
Amazing. And every day we talk about these lists, and Shohei Ohtani is jumping on with some of the greats in the game now and in the history of the game. Shohei Ohtani, just phenomenal what he's doing on the mound already tonight. We saw what he did at the plate with a 2-run triple, but already with 4 punch-outs in the game. He's touched 100. He's had that slider working. He hasn't even quite had the feel yet for his splitter, which generally will come along as the game progresses. Once he gets that one working along with his slider and 100, the velo, watch out for Shohei.
And he's faced 7 batters, 5 of which he's thrown first pitch strikes, and it's the variety in his game, in his arsenal, because he's thrown 84, 76, 95, 77, 85. He keeps everybody guessing on their toes. Jake Meyers leading off. We're in the top of the third, 3-0 Angels.
And you got to believe at some point now, the Astros, because they don't want to deal with secondary pitches for Shohei, they're going to be aggressive on the first pitch. They've had a lot of guys in this lineup with a lot of good numbers on the first pitch, but you don't want to fall behind. And Shohei knows that and recognizes. He tried to paint an outside corner fastball. Felt he hit his spot, but it was a little bit off the plate.
The 1-0. And yes, he did swing 1-1. Myers not so sure. Thought he held up. Of all the great players, Scooby, and you've met a lot, played with some of the greats like George Brett, for instance, when they see Ohtani do something like that we just saw at the triple, and what he's accomplishing.
I mean, everyone's a fan. I still think of somebody like CC Sabathia, who is on his way to the Hall of Fame. He is, every day he's just marveled at what he sees from Shohei Ohtani. He's one of my favorite pitchers. I mean, he's a guy that is going to be a free agent pitcher, pitched on 3-day rest when he was with Milwaukee to get him into the postseason, ended up signing a big deal with the Yankees. The ultimate warrior on the mound, and he sees and he's this shakes his head. And I know he's going to be out for the All-Star game. That's going to be one of the first people he goes and runs over and shakes his hand to. CC Sabathia is just a huge fan of Shohei Ohtani.
Drops that in there for a strike with the slider, 2-2. Ohtani 2 straight years voted in as a DH and selected as a pitcher. I guess the question remains, how will he be used in the All-Star game? And the first American League player just signed up for the Home Run Derby, a rookie, and Julio Rodriguez. J-Rod Velasquez to his left, throws across, and for a little bit more on what Ohtani might do in the All-Star game, and Erica Weston, what do we think? Is he going to be starting pitcher? Is he going to be in the Home Run Derby? What have you found out?
I don't think he's going to be in the Home Run Derby, but I'm not going to confirm or deny that. But Phil Nevin and Dusty Baker did chat before the game today just about usage as far as Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani is concerned. But Dusty did say that Ohtani is in the mix to start the game. As far as details, that's pretty much all we got. We know Shohei batted leadoff in last year's All-Star game as well, so will he do that again? We'll see. He's also got Jose Altuve on his team, so who knows?
Oh, that might get through for a hit, and it does. Thank you, Erica. Yeah, we'll wait and see. Maybe see if we can twist Dusty Baker's arm. Martin Maldonado.
And he was up there hacking first pitch, got a slider to one that gets over the plate, and he just went right back up the middle. Once it gets by Shohei with the shift on.
And Maldonado was Ohtani's first catcher, right? When he came up with the bigs, they were tremendous friends.
Yeah, they hit it off right away. His first camp in Tempe for Shohei and Martin Maldonado. But right now he's not a friend. You got a hit?
No.
Gotta believe he's up there hacking first pitch now.
Jose Altuve, one out, one on. Swing and a miss. He was indeed hacking. The boos raining down, and then the cheers on the miss.
He's grounded into 7 double plays. Shohei with already 3 ground ball outs. Not a high percentage of ground ball rate this season. Almost 39%, but 3 ground ball outs so far for Shohei.
Maldonado with the first hit of the game for the Astros. And they'll be teammates on Tuesday in the All-Star game. And it was good to hear Erica's report that Mike Trout not in danger of missing that All-Star game, but he is definitely dealing with something, and it's been an uncomfortable situation. But hope to get him back soon. Fastball's in there, 1-2.
99-mile-an-hour fastball. Shohei's touched 100 today. He's touched 99. Average fastball, a little over 97 miles an hour. And because of Maldonado's at first, Jared Walsh is able to get off the bag a little bit more just in case Altuve hits something to the right side of the infield.
One-two, he got him. 101. Altuve is going to walk back, shaking his head. My goodness.
So he's won 100, now 101. A little Ventura Freeway, the 101.
Most pitchers in the big leagues, 91 freeway is what they live at. This guy's on the 101. Incredible. Chas McCormick, slider, swing and a miss, 0-1. Ohtani with 5 strikeouts. Two RBI in the game.
Still not quite at the feel for his splitter yet. But that's what's so amazing about Shohei, is his ability to use his other pitches. And his slider percentage is nearly 45% coming into the game, 32%. Fastball coming in the game, 38%, 34% so far.
Here's the 1-1.
How do you throw 100 mile an hour? You're still reacting to make sure everyone's okay with that foul ball in the stands.
It's only one man that can do it. We're looking at him.
Usually when you think of somebody throwing 100, 101 miles an hour, they're falling towards, if they're a righty, falling towards the first base side, or a lefty, the same thing, third base side. He's still in really good fielding position. He uses that lower half of his body exceptionally well, and he's still already and always balanced delivering the baseball.
The 1-2. Pops that one up. It's got some carry. Joe Adell is there. And Ohtani gets out of it. He's throwing absolute gas here. 101. Strikes out Jose Altuve. That's his reaction, and that's Ohtani's. Oh, yeah. History. Longest innings pitched streaks. No earned runs. Ohtani now 31 2/3 innings pitched. 0 earned runs. That's the most in 50 years. It passes Lackey. Passes May and passes Nolan Ryan. Tonight, 3 innings pitched, just 1 hit, 0 earned runs. Takes us to our Indeed player resume, and so far it's looking pretty darn good for Ohtani because 18-1 career Gooby with 3+ runs of support in his 50th career start tonight. He's got it.
Well, when you think of ace pitchers of a staff, when they get that kind of support, they go to that next level and they realize how the importance of putting up those zeros, especially a shutdown inning after scoring runs. Shohei Ohtani, the ultimate competitor, but also his creativity is the reason why you're seeing those numbers, especially with support.
First pitch to Kyle Tucker is a cutter in off the plate. Huge fan of Angels history. He's already etching his name in the history book for the Halos on the pitching side. Let alone forget about the hitting side for a second. Angels pitchers with A+ wins, a sub-2.5 ERA, a sub-1 whip in their first 14 starts. Ohtani is the second ever. First, I'll tell you after this pitch, the weave. Jared Weaver, 10 years ago, 2012, was 9-1. Weaver finished 3rd in the Cy Young race. By the way, Jared Weaver Friday throwing out the first pitch, I believe.
Maybe joining us in the booth.
Oh, come on.
The weave.
Can't believe I got bounced. Tell him I say hi. That's very cool.
That's a good pitch. Cutter. We talk about creative Ohtani. Cutters, couple cutters in this game.
Tonight is Ohtani's 15th start, most on the team. Most strikeouts on the team. Most innings pitched on the team. Fewest walks allowed. Lowest ERA. Whoa, hold on a second. Ohtani has his hands on his head. Where was that?
That's in the middle of the plate.
Where was that?
I mean, that's in the middle of the plate. Shohei, reaction. Now you got a real good hitter in a hitter's count. Shohei threw another cutter. So he's throwing 3 cutters in this at bat. Kyle Tucker goes through a routine between every pitch thrown to him. Grabs some dirt, touches the bat. Not quite Nomar Garciaparra-like with the batting gloves because he doesn't have batting gloves. Otherwise, he probably would do that. So there's a routine for Tucker.
And that little back foot kick. Digging in. The 3-2 off the plate. That's a walk, leadoff variety. Hole at bat takes a different turn when you don't get that pitch called. It's a perfect pitch, slider, or a strike.
4 cutters in that sequence against Tucker, and he had thrown cutters all game. But he knows that Tucker hits breaking pitches very well. So the cutter's more like a fastball with that late cut action to it. It goes in the category a lot of times as a fastball. So he was trying to have a little bit of a wrinkle on it, yet still throw his fastball to him.
Second time through now for Ohtani. First pitch to Bregman off the plate.
And usually really good second time through. First time through 233, second time 203, third time 139.
Oh, come on. This man just gets stronger. And he always bears down. Runners on. As I mentioned, better as the game goes on. It's our Coors Light beating the pressure. Break it down for me one more time.
Well, you see as he goes that first time through, it's always about a feel for his pitches. Fastball velocity still firm, but as the second time through, the adjustments made, fastball velocity increases. The second time, it's still pretty close that third time through for Shohei. Opponent's average, this drops considerably as he has a feel for what the hitters are trying to do against him.
That's OPS, right? I mean, that's just not batting average. This is on base plus slugging in the 200s as the game goes on. You just, most of the time they got somebody up in the bullpen. They don't want you. They don't want a pitcher facing anybody the third time through anymore. And you've already, have proof that Ohtani, when Nevin was thinking of maybe taking him out, and Ohtani was very clear that one game. essentially can't use the language, but it was don't you dare. That's out towards left field. There's Brandon Marsh.
A lot of people are asking, why is Brandon Marsh in left field and not in center?
Let's hear it.
Why is Taylor Ward in center? Well, Brandon Marsh has settled into one of the best defenders in left field, so you don't want to move him around, even though he is a center fielder. Taylor Ward has told me a number of times his favorite outfield position is center field. Even though he's played a solid right field, and Joe Adell, they're trying to keep him what he's been playing most of the times out in AAA, and that would be right field. So keeping everyone in their comfort zone, but keeping Brandon Marsh out in left field where he's been dynamic defending.
I spoke with Damon Mayshore, who works with the outfielders, also first base coach. He says, yeah, we're not going to take, the guy's playing Gold Glove caliber left field. Keep him right there. Yuli Gurriel takes a strike. Taylor Ward also told me that he feels he reads the ball off the bat really well in center field. And Mayshore also added that he feels that Joe Adell, just working with him here today, he's night and day. He is so much better, just the way he reads the baseball off the bat. Runner goes. And Tucker steals the bag. That's 15 on the season for Kyle Tucker.
Well, he picked the right pitch to go on, a curveball.
So that's 2 stolen bases against Ohtani tonight.
And it looked like C.B. Buckner was going to call that a strike, and he didn't call. That's in the strike zone. He's going to call this a strike. He's moving up to call it, but then when he goes to throw, Max Stassi, that's a strike.
Two calls against Ohtani. These aren't borderline. It's all over the strike zone. Runner in scoring position now in Tucker. And a 2-1 count to Gurriel. 2-2.
Remember, punched him out with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean, both these pitchers are really battling here tonight. I mean, they are battling.
8 strikeouts for Javier. 5 so far for Ohtani. A couple of walks, only 1 hit allowed. Oh, that's going to beat the ship. Adell. Well, he's not going to make the play on it. And that is a earned run that comes in to score. 3-1 now.
Went with the pitch the other way after the stolen base. Well, he just shortened up his swing. He just tried to make contact. He allowed Shohei Ohtani to provide the power on that pitch. It was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
So the streak for Ohtani ends at 33 innings pitched without allowing an earned run. That one charged to Shohei. Whole new ball game, 1 out, 1 on with J.J. Maticevic. And Gurriel, we focused on that a little bit last night. Runners in scoring position. Has not been good for him this year.
Got to credit the Astros for trying to steal some bases against Shohei. He doesn't give them up. Pick the right pitch, Tucker to steal a bag, and because of that, you get a run.
Wow, that's just a nice pitch. That cutter back to it. 1-1. Quick correction and retraction by myself. 32 is the number for Ohtani, which is the most in the last 50 years. 32 innings without an earned run. Send your letters courtesy of producer Max. Proof. Last 50 seasons at 32. My partner here, Mark Gubaza, once 22 2/3, scoreless without allowing an earned run. And I asked you about it and said, take me back to that time, and you said, I have no recollection of it whatsoever.
Usually I remember everything, but not that. I was always used to backing up bases. Get my work in, my sprint work. Right. So Shohei Ohtani in this inning has thrown a lot of cutters. And usually when you see Shohei throwing a cutter or slider more, he's not comfortable throwing his splitter. Haven't seen him throw many of them of late.
The 1-2.
That's right in the strike zone again. It was taken out of the strike zone. Yeah, but that's another strike.
It's maybe just the way Stassi tried to catch that cutter again.
But it's
yeah,
a strike.
I absolutely. I'm just kind of baffled. That's 3 this inning. See how he kind of trapped it.
Well, he's expecting that cutter to go the other direction. So that's a tougher one to catch, but it's in the strike zone.
Yes, he did. Check on it. He's out. All right. It's making sure. That's another strikeout for Ohtani. That's 6.
Well, that's a sharp break to his curveball.
So for a starting pitcher, an ace of the staff, to go 3+ innings without throwing one particular pitch, and then to suddenly feature it in the 4th inning, what gives there?
That's what we said about Shohei. There's times where he doesn't even use his splitter for the first 3-4 innings, and all of a sudden it's the best pitch in the game. It's feel. That's what's so good about Shohei, is his feel for all his pitches.
Get over curveball, strike 1 to Jeremy Pena, the dynamic rookie for the Astros. So 40% sliders. The cutter suddenly creeping up the leaderboard. 0-2.
Remember, he's thrown him nothing but sliders so far tonight. Well, a curveball first pitch, but slider to second. Struck him out on the slider. 0-2 last time. If there was slider off the plate, he took it. Came right back with another slider. Got a swing and miss.
He got him. That's 7 for Ohtani. 1 run came in. But man, is he phenomenal on the bump here tonight. Tremendous break. Pena strikes out for the 2nd time. 3-1 Angels. Angels baseball on Bally Sports is brought to you by the OC Healthcare Agency. Build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. By Nissan. For great offers on our most exciting lineup, shop NissanUSA.com. And by your friends at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Shohei Ohtani so far tonight, the swing and misses on his pitches, the arsenal he's been throwing. That's 17-7 with versus slider, 5 versus the 4-seamer, curveball 3, cutter 2, 7 strikeouts in a game. And look how many pitches this time in the zone as far as swing and misses as compared to back at April 20th against the same Astro club, and when he had 20 swing and misses with 11 sliders, 6 splitters, curveballs, 4-seamer. How many of those pitches were well out of the strike zone? Only 2 was in the zone that day. But today, he's getting swing and misses in the strike zone, reminiscent of that game he had at Fenway Park, where he got a number of swing and misses in the zone.
Those animated fans in the Crawford boxes are amazed.
Well, why wouldn't
you? He's tremendous, and I think has to be the starting pitcher for the American League. The All-Star game, many great choices. Southern California, and I think whoever they decide to start in the National League, if it's not Clayton Kershaw, maybe they should hand the ball to him. Let him start it also. Strike 1. Like off the plate. But it's 0-1 to Jake Myers. Top of the 5th, 3-1 Angels. A little too far off the plate there. 1-1.
And Stassi really tried to sell that one, bring it back in his zone, but a little bit too far off the plate. It's a big inning for Shohei. You love to see have a quick, clean 1-2-3 inning here. It's been a battle for him tonight.
Featuring the slider to Myers, 1-2. Seven strikeouts so far for Shohei. The 1-2. Let's make it 8. What do you say?
The depth he's getting on his slider now. Last season, in his historic season on the mound and at the plate, we talked a lot about that devastating splitter. His slider is going to that next level also for Shohei. Coming in the game, mentioned 87 strikeouts with his breaking pitches.
Maldonado with the strike. Let's go to our Kia player profile. Last 5 starts. Shohei Ohtani is putting up numbers rarely ever seen using that slider and splitter.
Yeah, the percentage of usage of 53%. Opponent batting average is .082. That's 32 strikeouts and a whiff percentage of 50%.
Maldonado does not chase. Martin with one of the 2 hits for the Astros tonight. Beat the shift, went up the middle with it back in the 3rd inning. Well, that has a flare written all over it. Unless, no, Taylor Ward unable to get it. Maldonado digging for second and is going to make it. Taylor Ward gave it everything. Yeah, but that falls.
Off the end of the bat, he covered a lot of ground. Aggressive on the dive. It looks like it was going to hit the outfield grass already.
Adele backing it up in case it gets by him. And that allows Maldonado to get into second base.
Just off that glove.
And he was like a torpedo going on after that one. Runner in scoring position now for Altuve. 1 out. Middle of the game. Runner in scoring position. This is when Shohei absolutely bears down. He's got to face one of the game's most clutch hitters in Altuve. In there, strike 1. Heavy slider usage tonight for Ohtani. Out towards left field, Brandon Marsh running over, runs out of room.
So used to that kind of swing because he plays half of his games at Minute Maid Park, that Crawford boxes. Even though he was out in front, he keeps his bat back long enough to almost keep that one fair.
Ohtani in his 50th career start tonight. Only 2 Angels through 49 games. Pitchers had a better ERA and a better whip through 49 games. Andy Messersmith and Dan Herron. Think that look at Maldonado had anything to do with perhaps tipping any kind of pitch to Altuve?
That was a splitter. That was a good splitter there for Shohei. He hadn't thrown in a while, and he threw that good of a splitter. I mean, that thing just dropped.
Here's the 1-2. In there, got him. 9 Ks for Ohtani. 2 down.
Blocked him up on a back-up slider after a splitter that he barely fouled off. Same plane, same part of the plate. Went slider inside part of the plate and freezes him. Still work to be done for Shohei.
Chas McCormick now with 2 down in the 5th. Maldonado at second base. McCormick 0 for 2 with a strikeout. At this rate, Ohtani's thinking strikeout, is he not? I mean, he's got 9. He'll take an out, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's thinking an out any way he can get it. Shohei Ohtani with 2 outs this season with runners in scoring position. That's when he goes to that next level. See if he can continue that pace.
Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
.069 batting average with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Shohei looking for that devastating pitch here. He's still trying to tell himself he didn't really feel comfortable in that last one there where he spotted it because it got a lot of the plate. Now he's thinking about, okay, I'll make a perfect pitch, see if I get a swing out of the zone. That's another swing in zone. Swing and miss. He's looking for a swing and miss out of zone here now.
The 1-2, he got the out. Any way he could get it. Rengifo is there. And Ohtani through 5. Dealing on the hill and driving in runs at the plate. 3-1 Halos.
Let's go with a pitch-by-pitch for Shohei against Altuve. Both all-stars. Start him off with a slider off the inside part of the plate. Catches the upper third with a slider. Another slider out in front. Altuve pulls it foul. Then a splitter just tied him up inside. It sets up that next slider on the inside part of the plate and catches the upper corner for a call. 3rd strike against Jose Altuve.
Shohei Ohtani, 6th inning. Got to face Kyle Tucker, who led off that 4th inning. Remember that walk?
We're back to the 2 strikeouts against Altuve today for Shohei. 101-mile-an-hour fastball, swing and miss. And then a slider on the inside part of the plate. Separation of 16 miles per hour on the 2 strikeouts against a very good hitter. It's another good splitter on the inside part of the plate. Called a ball.
1-1. And that's that at bat. And Tucker led off the 4th, walked. Eventually, that was that earned run charged against Ohtani. Yeah, you can see he's frustrated.
He moved as if he was going to call that a strike, C.B. Buckner.
Now the count's 1-2 to Kyle Tucker. A 60 RBI tie for the team lead. To go with 17 homers and a trip to Dodger Stadium in the All-Star game on Tuesday.
He's not an easy guy to strike out either. Shohei has struck him out once. He's got 50 strikeouts on the season. So he's a guy that puts the ball in play. So you got to make a really good pitch to get a strikeout against him. It's a 101-mile-an-hour fastball.
Jose Quijada, and he was fantastic last night.
If he tries a splitter right here, if he can have a feel for that, it'd be a good pitch right now.
The 1-2. Got him looking. That's number 10.
That looked like it was off the plate. Backdoor curveball. Shohei. That's a stolen strike by Matt Stassi behind the plate. Did a nice job. Tucker saying that's off the plate. And it was.
4 straight games, double-digit strikeouts for Ohtani. Seventh time this season he has hit double digits in a game on the hill. Still a lot of work to do. Alex Bregman.
Gives him 121 strikeouts on the season, with 22 walks. The transformation, what you saw from basically about mid-June last season to the end of the season on the mound, and what he's taken that into this season. A legit ace.
Catches a piece of Bregman's bat, 1-2.
Little Quijada way, going in there, grabbing that baseball, wanting to attack the strike zone. Shohei.
The intensity rises, the tighter and the deeper into the ball game he gets.
Maybe a cutter here.
Ground ball, and it gets through. Bregman just goes with the pitch with the shift on. That's the 4th hit against Ohtani. He's going to bring up Yuli Gurriel.
And the only reason why he was able to make contact on that cutter was up high enough. He could just punch it. So what's different about this Astro club than about maybe 5-6 years ago when they were a high strikeout team? They put the ball in play.
I wonder if Bregman's having a chat with Walsh about how tough this guy on the hill is tonight. Hacking at the first pitch. Fouls it back, 0-1. Gurriel with the RBI single.
Shohei's only had 3 double plays turned behind him this season.
Pitch number 100. 65 of which are strikes.
Wow.
Unreal.
That had some bite.
11 strikeouts for Ohtani. That's a filthy slider.
Gurriel's pretty good against breaking pitches, but this slider was unreal. That is like you're throwing a wiffle ball. And he missed that by quite a bit.
Yeah. 4th straight game, over 100 pitches for Ohtani. 4th straight start, as I mentioned, 10 strikeouts. Only the 2nd Angel to do it in club history. Nolan Ryan did it 6 times. Strike to Matijevic. Just remarkable. 6 times for Nolan Ryan, by the way. Not surprised. 0-2.
Look at Shohei walking up there to get that baseball back from Matt Stassi.
One on, 2 outs, the 0-2. This is 101.
Slightly overthrown for Shohei. Usually this means when you see Shohei going to that level where he's throwing the fastball at 101, he feels he's got to that point now in the pitch count with 104. Just be able to get that last batter and finish off his night on the mound.
The 1-2. In there! A dozen strikeout special delivery for Ohtani.
Masashine. Backdoor breaking ball. Nasty slider. Slider to finish it off. And Shohei with the fist pump. Loving it.
He lost his first 2 starts. About to go 9-4. Well, Pena, final out. Peguero records it and right up the halo. Ohtani gets the victory. The Angels snap a 5-game losing streak and they even the series with the Astros 1 game apiece.
An outstanding performance by Shohei Ohtani. Joe Adell, a couple big hits. Luis Rengifo with 3. Shohei Ohtani the story. And I think it's a pretty hard choice here, but I'm going out on a limb here. The Toyota player of the game, Shohei Ohtani. 4th straight start with 10 or more strikeouts. This is the 2nd Angel in club history. The Express, Nolan Ryan, the other 6 innings, 12 strikeouts. Just one earned run allowed for Shohei Ohtani. Just a dominant performance again.
He has won his last 6 starts. Incredible. Drove in 2 with a triple. And the Angels needed every single ounce of that effort. Another look back at the special stuff he had working here, Gooby.
I mean, it's unbelievable how he created that slider depth, and he threw some more cutters. Didn't quite have his usual splitter, but he's thrown 101 miles an hour in the game, touched 100 a couple of different other times, but also, by the way, had a base hit, hit 104 miles per hour exit velocity. What an effort for Shohei.
Oh, how about this? Standing by right now with Erica Weston is Shohei and Ipe.
All right, thanks very much, Patrick. Shohei, a dominant outing once again for you on the mound. Just how much pride do you take in being able to lift this team to a win each time you take the mound?
毎回連敗ストッパーになってますけど、それについてはどう思ってますか？
苦しい試合多いですけど、なんとか粘って今日も勝ってたので、また明日切り替えて頑張りたいなと思います。
I mean, yeah, we're going through a rough stretch right now, but glad we won today, and hopefully we can start something.
Great with the bat as well, the 2-run triple in the 2nd inning. How much do you love being able to get your own run support when you're starting?
2点3塁打打ちましたけど、自分の試合でそういう打点上げるのはどういう気持ちいいですか？
自分が投げてるに関わらず、常に得点圏を返したいなと思っているので、いい打撃ができてよかったなと思ってます。
Yeah, regardless of whether I'm throwing or not, I always want to get that, drive that run in scoring position. So I was glad I was able to do that today.
Last one for you, Shohei. 4 straight games with double-digit strikeouts. This has been an unbelievable run, how you've been pitching. How do you describe this last month, the way that you've been pitching?
4試合連続2桁三振ピッチャーとしてやってますけど、いいその調子の秘訣は何でしょうか？
積極的に攻められているのがいいところかなと思うので、奪三振は流れを持ってくるのにすごくいいアウトだなと思うので、続けられるように頑張りたいなと思います。
I'm just trying to stay aggressive in the zone, and I feel like strikeouts could bring the momentum to our side, and that's going well so far.
It's incredible to watch. Thank you for the time. Shohei Ohtani, everybody.
Oh, Erica, thanks very much. A great thrill for the fans here to hear that interview.
To see that and a smile on Shohei's face. Phenomenal. Good job, Erica, on that interview.
Yeah, thank you, Erica. Gooby, thank you, pal. Great job. We'll see you tomorrow.
Go, Patty. Oh, that was fun. He's unbelievable. The unicorn that he is.
He improves to 9-4. He's won 6 games in a row and 4 in a row with double-digit strikeouts. Otsukare-sama deshita, Otani-san. Stay tuned for our Angels Live post-game show. Our entire crew has you covered next, and we'll see you tomorrow.